Oh. Oh. Sukham atyantikam yaddad. Tat sukham atyantikam. Joy is that which is infinite, makes one feel full. Devi Sharada, whose husband was Sri Ramakrishna, she is taught when one has completed shravana fully, they naturally will engage in manana. When one has engaged in manana fully, they will naturally engage in nidhidyāsana. And when one has engaged in nidhidyāsana fully, they will naturally feel full. The implication of this is how important listening is. Buddhigrahyam atindriyam. This joy, it is not mediate. Mediate means I'm feeling this joy through a medium. This joy is not mediate, it is immediate. It is my nature. That's why it's beyond the senses. But what does it mean that the intellect can grasp this? Swami Tejomayananda shared this example. When the sun is shining fully, no clouds, and you look at that sun, your eyes can see the sun just for a moment before your eyes have to close. Your eyes can't handle looking at the sun. Everyone agrees. The intellect that is trained, it can taste the periphery of the spirit, but then that intellect becomes still. And one feels what's behind the intellect, just like with your eyes closed, you still feel the sun. So the next time you see the sun shining fully, stare at it. And then remember this visualization. Veti yatra na chaivayam. When one knows this, when one is being this, na cha eva ayam, one never unknows this. This is a forever experience. Our nature is ananda, but we have this aptitude to change that which is infinite to make it finite. So sometimes ananda is described as sada ananda, sadananda, which means being joyous forever. Once you are established in your nature, you will never become unestablished from that. There is no investment in life that is like this. More specifically, sthitas chalati tattvataha. Established in this tattva, there is no chalati, there's no shaking, there's no moving. Bhagavad Gita is teaching Tatwamasi. This is a Mahavakya, a great teaching from the Upanishad. This quarter is showing Tvam Asi Tat. I am infinite. The Asi is contemplation. The I has changed its identity from individuality to infinity. Tattvataha. Tat. We continue with another verse that is directing us to the completion of contemplation. This is the completion of all. I don't know how else to describe this. Your lifetimes are over. You can rest. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tataha yasmin stito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. The first quarter. Yam labdva. Having gained this, cha aparam labham. There is not another gain. Factually, and one doesn't feel this either. I'm going to share a lot of detail about how does this gain come to us. Labha, which means gain, in the context of contemplation, is knowing and being. First knowing, then being. Right now, what we know of ourselves, what we feel of ourselves, is our antaranga. The memory, the mind, the intellect, the ego. That's where we live. That's who we feel we are. So if I have to know and be, that has to be different than the antaranga, which is why we engage in antaranga sādhana. Antaranga, for the antaranga, these are specific, advanced disciplines, practices that change my identity. What are they? Shravana. Shravana means to listen, but to listen to what specifically? The Shruti. To listen to the Upanishad, to Gita. Because the Upanishad and Gita only have one subject, that is Brahma in the Upanishad, Tat in Gita. Then manana. Manana based on yukti. Yukti means rationale, logic. So it's taking what I've listened to and making this more real. And then nidhidyāsana, which is based on anubhuti. Anubhuti means experience. The scriptures are telling me I'm infinite. Through reflection, I personalize this, and through contemplation, this comes to feel real. We've been exploring contemplation for more than 2 weeks now. Do you all feel that your potential is more infinite after these 2 weeks? I think you do. Perhaps this is the first time you've contemplated in a Vedic way. Now, this has happened in 2 weeks. Imagine being dedicated for 2 months, 2 years, 20 years. Of course, you will feel infinite. Zooming into this more, the shravana must be insulated, facilitated by, the Upanishad uses the word shraddha. Here I'm using the word respect. When you read the Shastra, when you listen to Gita, do so with respect. Because then this openness will help one with manana or reflection. The more you respect an entity, and certainly these teachings, the more you will love them. The Upanishad uses the word bhakti. Shravana with shraddha, manana with bhakti. Whatever you love, you reflect on that. But how did you get to that love? Through respect. And nidhidyāsana, to revere this. When when respect and love are combined, synthesized, that becomes reverence. That's how one should feel about contemplation. That this is the most revered practice, the most revered part of my day. Then we will labha, not just know, but be succumb atyantikam. Second quarter, manyate nadikam tataha. When one is experiencing this joy, manyate, they will not think. Na adikam tataha, that there is a comparable experience. When you are joyous, what do you think of? Nothing. And if you think of something, it's that I don't want this joy to stop, correct? See how quiet and still and silent we become. We should call our silence retreat joy retreats, because that's what they are. I'll share more about this quarter tomorrow. Let me continue. Yasmin. When this describes you, when this is you, stitaha na dukkhena. You being established, there is no sorrow. In the earlier verse, the word was na stitaha chalati. The same sentiment is being shared here. Do you know why there's no sorrow? When there's nothing to gain, there's nothing to lose. All of the sorrow in our lives is because of this sense of loss. Shared in a more advanced way, nothing to lose means you're not afraid, you're not annoyed, you're not angry. There's nothing to lose because there's no dvaita. You can only lose in duality, in separation, but if there's only oneness, who would you lose it to? How would you lose it? There's not even the possibility of sorrow. That is incredible. Ashcharya. Please know, you will not learn this in a typical yoga studio. You will not learn this from an executive coach. You will not learn this through a YouTube technique. The ends is being described in such beauty for us to respect and love and revere that all of this is only possible when I am associated with, when I am with a parambara, a tradition whose source is Shri Krishna. Please don't go tell people, I'm learning Vivek's meditation. You are not. I'm not learning Vivek's meditation. This is Shri Krishna guiding us back to him. Guru napi vichalyate. Listen carefully to this. Guruna means heavy, intense. Api vichalyate, even when the sorrow is heavy and intense, na vichalyate, one is not moved. One does not succumb to that sorrow. Yesterday, I described this verse as being the verse to address the world's problems. Too often I hear from different teachers and different organizations that when someone is in pain, you should share that pain. And it sounds nice, but when I share the pain, it's the same amount of pain, but now it's spread to two people, correct? Like a weight, now we're both holding this bag. The long-term solution, which is how we should make decisions, investments, is not to share the pain, but to absorb the pain. When you can absorb another's pain, then there's less pain in the world, correct? It's not being shared. I've absorbed that. It's transcending. And so another definition of the word guru, we typically know the one who brings light into our lives. Guru also means the deepest, the one who can absorb all. We have the same potential. Just visualize that you can absorb every person's pain. You would be Shri Krishna then, correct? That is our potential. This is what contemplation can do for us, change for us, for the entire world. This is one of my favorite verses of Bhagavad Gita. Please reflect lots on this. And then another favorite is coming tomorrow, and then the day after, and then the day after. I don't know what to say. I just keep sharing how fortunate we are, how fortunate we are, how fortunate we are. It almost sounds like I'm trying to subliminally make you feel this. But I feel this sadananda. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Oh. 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 Be grateful. Relax the body. Enjoy breathing. Chant with the mind. Dhyana or contemplation is changing one's identity Identity is facilitated by the identifier. The vasanas, the ego. To contemplate, one has to reach, one has to be with the ego. Vedic dhyana flows through the Shat Kosha Viveka. The word Viveka is synonymous with dhyana. Contemplation by disidentifying from the coverings that are 6 in number. being grateful, one disidentifies from the lifestyle. Relaxing, one disidentifies from the body. Enjoying, one disidentifies from the breath. Chanting, one disidentifies from the mind. These koshas or coverings, they're different dehas. Deha does mean body, but the etymology of deha is de, which means that which burns. Contemplation requires burning away the identification with the lifestyle, body, breath, mind. Feel that you have none of these, that you are none of these. By watching. Observe who you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.